Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of March the 14th, 2025. How does Alita's personality change with each body? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gunham, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado. And right now, I'm the only person here, but that's okay because I can talk about Alita all by myself. But we will have some folks coming on a little bit later. Before we get into any guests, if they arrive, uh, we do have the LA Fires fundraiser going on, and I'm probably going to take this down here in the next week or so because I think they've got things pretty much under control. I think, I will check first, with some of the authorities there that are doing this. But we've raised over $1,200, and all of it has gone toward the greater good charity. And they take care of the animals as well as the people. So if you have any money, it's still not too late. If you have some to spare, you can donate. No amount is too small, and just donate that, and let's help the folks in LA. And since I am the only guest, or not guest, I'm not a guest. Hell, I'm the stream manager. So, but since the only person here, we'll just kind of move on. If somebody wants to show up or somebody wants to join in the stream here, then there's the link. You just click on it. You can come on, and we're going to talk about Alita and have a good time with that. And, we got a pretty nice topic today, I think. So it'll be kind of interesting. We do have Rosa's Queen Studios bust of Alita. She knows that we have it and she wants it, so that's pretty cool. And I'm when the time is right, she'll let us know when she wants to receive it. We will get this to her any way she wants us to get it to her. So we don't have to do anything formal if she doesn't want. If she just says, hey, Creek, just ship it to me. We'll do that too. Or if she says, hey, let's do a little ceremony, we'll do that too. So it doesn't matter. We'll go either way she wants. But we definitely want to get this to her as an expression of our appreciation, admiration, and affection for our queen, because she is great. She's a superb actress, and we are lucky. We are very lucky to have had her be Alita in Alita Battle Angel, and we're going to be very lucky when she becomes Alita again, when we have Alita Fallen Angel and Alita Avenging Angel, which would be Alita 2 and 3. So when she's ready, we will get this to her. We also have the Alita sequel petition going on. We've added, and it's been almost 5 months, I think, something like that, or maybe 3.5 months. I'm not sure exactly how long it's been, but we've added 160 signatures to that. I put some more money into the petition, and hopefully that'll kind of stoke up those numbers a little bit more. If you have not signed the petition, please do so. We will keep this thing going. We want to keep reminding Disney that there are a lot of people that want to see this sequel happen. And it's not just the sequels. We want to see these, not just one sequel, it's 2 sequels we really want. We want Alita Fallen Angel and Alita Avenging Angel. So, but I think when this petition was originated, it was back before James Cameron said when he was interviewing with Forbes, he said that he was working on the script or working on the treatment or the story or whatever he was doing, for the Alita sequels, is what he said. He used the plural on that. So, we'll just, we'll assume that means Alita Fallen Angel and Alita Avenging Angel, because that's what he said way back when. So if you have not signed the sequel, just enter your name and address, email address there. If you can donate, that's fine. You don't have to. You can also stipulate that this is going to be anonymous. So if you don't want any of your information to get out on the internet, because we do know that can be pretty toxic. I think the internet can at times. So we definitely want to make sure that everybody's safe on that. So but you can specify anonymous and then go from there. But if you have not signed this petition, please do so. We would definitely appreciate it. And we still have the Alita Gaming Network going on. Basically, it's it's a very small. I think we've still got like 40 users on it. We have not been pushing it because I think a lot of the people on there kind of prefer it to be very small. It's very intimate with the folks there, and they really appreciate that. We're going to start another channel pretty soon in the voice channel. It's called the Kansas Bar, and we'll do something a little different. Now, I may just rename that the channel that says Lobby. I may just rename that Kansas Bar, but it'll be set up as a voice channel, and people can get on and they can talk to other Alita Army members that are in the gaming network. It doesn't cost anything for you to join the network. You do have to have a Discord user ID, and that doesn't cost anything as well. But if you do your own content, if you say you do live streaming yourself, you can put the link to your live stream in one of the live stream channels that you see up top there. If you write fanfics, you can definitely put that link there too, or you can upload the fanfic to one of the text channels there under the fanfic text channel. If you do artwork, you can definitely upload that as well. If you have something that's maybe loosely related to Alita or not related to Alita, you can put that in the off-topic channel. And from time to time, we do have watch parties. And we haven't had one recently because one of our Alita Army members there has had some a personal kind of tragedy has hit them. And we've that individual wanted to see the anime because they'd never seen it, the Rusty Angel anime. And, basically he wanted to see that. So we're going to hold off on doing a watch party. Now we may do one Monday, but it would probably be a short. Maybe we'll replay Rosa's Trouble with Edward Star Trek short. We might do that, because we just like to hang out. And the watch party channel itself is also a voice channel, so you can talk while the movie's going on and nobody will get upset with you and that kind of thing. You can see the link that you see there below the little chibi Alita mascot. That link is down in the description. And, basically you can click on that and you'll get an invite and you can come right in. And Matu and I actually, we kind of manage the channel, this network, but we really haven't had any issue with anyone, putting anything untoward or anything inappropriate, in the network. And the Alita Army's been very respectful of others here, and we just want to have fun with this. It's not going to be something that's we're not going to allow politics or any of that kind of stuff on there, but we haven't had any problem with that. So if you want to join the Alita Gaming Network, then just click on that link and then you can come in and join. Okay, well, since we don't have any guests and I'm the only one here, what I'm going to ask is the folks in the chat, if you have any thoughts about Alita's personality in terms of which body, or if you have any ideas how you think she might react, as as certainly a cyborg, or if she's in the Imaginos body, of course, she's an android in those. But just let me know. Put that in the chat. I'll display it, talk about it a little bit, And, we'll, kind of go from there. But you can see there's several different bodies here. And I think the last count we've had was there was something like it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 bodies that she was in. Now she's been in like like 10 machine bodies and one human body. So, we saw in the movie how it appeared that her personality changed when she went from the doll body to the berserker body. In the doll body, she seemed to be a little more immature. She seemed to be more like a teenager of about 13 or 14 years old. When she got into the berserker body, she appeared to be more mature, and I think we saw that one scene where Ito had just finished installing her core into the berserker body, and he said that the body, the adaptive technology of the Erm body was kind of adjusting to her self-image of herself. And of course, Gerhard said that it looks like she's a little older than you thought. So hello, X-Man 577. How you doing? Hello, Bad Man as well. I saw you out there as well. There's Erwan's Yao, I guess is how you pronounce that. I think you might still be out there. So if you are, just that's cool, and when we get to the individual bodies, any of you guys anyone in the chat can say, here's what I think Alita would be like in this particular body. So we don't have a lot of people in the chat, but that's okay. I think daylight saving time may have messed up some folks, because I know the Creek always messes up with daylight savings time every year. I do that every time. So maybe that's part of it. But anyway, we got 11 different bodies here. And, they're certainly the human body is going to be the one that's going to be more, she's going to be more organic. She's going to be, kind of well, she's not a cyborg or an android in that body. Certainly the berserker body, the civilian body, the doll body, the motorball body, the tuned body, and the Erm body. She's actually a cyborg in those bodies. In the Imaginos body, she's more of a android because she has a brain chip in there. Because if anybody read the manga, spoiler alert, she was actually what happens to her a lot in the manga is she gets killed and then of course revived, and of course we know that those of us who have read the manga, she was blown up, by Nova, and then Nova reconstructed her as an android and put her in the Imaginos 1.0 body. What is this, Bad Man? Could be stuff on the news as well. America is in an unfortunate state at this moment. I agree with you, Bad Man. We're in a pretty sad shape here. So we don't want to talk about politics on any of the Alita streams, of course, whether it's this stream or it's on the Radio Chaos. We stay away from politics, but you have to acknowledge it. You can't run away from it. But yeah, we are definitely in a very difficult times here. So anyway, moving away from that, in the Imaginos body, now I've got the Imaginos body is kind of separated into two basic, I wouldn't call them categories, but basically more on what Alita is capable of doing and how that might affect her personality. In the Imaginos 1.0 body and 2.0 body, she is crazy OP in that body. But in the Imaginos 2.1 body, she's more like a goddess in that body. So it's a kind of she'll have a little bit different perspective on things, I think, when you get to the level that she was in the Imaginos 2.1 body, rather. Yeah, you're right, X-Man. We definitely want to stay away from politics, particularly when we're, kind of having fun with Alita, because, well, for one thing, it's an escape for us, so that kind of helps us get through the day, I guess. But yeah, you're right. It is always in our face. There's no doubt about it. But as going back to the Imaginos body, it seems that Kishiro kind of made Alita more and more powerful as time went on, particularly after she got, well, I guess that's not 100% true, because when she, when she lost Hugo in the Berserker body, and of course we've speculated on this, that she did not want to be in the Berserker body because that's the body she was in when Hugo died, and she felt somewhat responsible, I think, and she just couldn't identify with the Berserker body. That's what we've thought. And if you remember at the end of the movie, she was in the Motorball body, and of course that's Max Tak Jirai's favorite body. But the Motorball body and the Tuned body are not as powerful as the Berserker body. And the body was kind of, we saw a case there in Mars Chronicle where she was in the body for a while. And then after the Last Order in the later volumes of Mars Chronicles, she's in an body. Now, in the body in there, it doesn't really go into her a lot about what she does in the Mars Chronicles when she's in the body after Last Order or after the Zot. I suspect she's an android there because she still probably will have a brain chip, but don't know about that. But anyway, we'll chat about that separately. And of course, the human body, she's not going to have the kind of power she had in any of the other cyborg or android bodies. She's a human, so she's she's flesh and blood. So we'll get to that as well. Let's see, the brain chip body, I believe everyone in the city in the sky, that'd be Zalem, of course, had brain chips, didn't they? Yes, they did. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm not sure about Nova. I think he had a brain chip as well, but Badman, you're out there. You know this stuff better than I do. I haven't read the manga in a long time. So maybe you could, oh, he does. He did. There he goes. Yep, that's right. They get that brain chip, I guess, as part of initiation when they're 19. So that's right. Aha, ¿Cómo está, Leonardo? Good to see you out there, man. By the way, if anybody wants to come on, I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. You can just jump on with me and we can chat about it, and there it is. There's the link. You can come on there, and yeah, thanks a lot, Leonardo. How many clones did Nova have? I am not sure about that. He had a bunch of them. Badman, you know more than I do about this. How many clones of Nova were there? I know the difference between Nova, that version of Nova that liked Flan, versus Destinova versus Supernova. Those are three that I know of right off the top of my head, but I think there were a lot more than that. Who knows how many? Badman, if you can remember, just put that in the chat. And we can answer that question. Okay, so anyway, moving right along, I guess we got the Berserker body. So, and this is in alphabetical order. It's not in chronological order. So, it's going to be kind of seem like it's all over the place. But yeah, Badman says there were at least 10 clones of Nova, and there were decoy Novas. Yeah, I do remember vaguely about that. I don't know how many of them there were, but there were a ton. So anyway. But the Berserker body, to me in the movie, Alita appeared to be very mature in the movie in the Berserker body. I guess, her self-image of herself, the body itself kind of adapted to that. Whereas when we'll get to the doll body in a little bit, but, I think by this point in time, when she got into the Berserker body, she was learning a little bit more about herself more and more as the movie went on. The same is true in the manga, I think. The Berserker body, certainly she's a cyborg in this body. She still has an organic brain. And I think that she basically, is, I think she's a young adult in this body. She's at least 18 years old in this body. And certainly the way she acted when she and Hugo were on the I guess when they're on the supply tube, particularly in the movie, not so much in the manga maybe or in the anime, but she seemed to me like her maturity level had really accelerated up to that point quite a bit. She seemed to act or kind of be like someone that was in their early 20s, Yeah, Bad Man, that's right. She was probably 18 or 19 in the Berserker body. And of course, we all know how we were when we were teenagers, we were pretty immature as teenagers. And of course, as a young adult, certainly Alita would be a lot more mature than she would be in her doll body. Now, I think with Alita herself, I think in that Berserker body, being a young woman, I think her love for Hugo manifested itself a little bit more. I think it was a little deeper than it was in the doll body. I think in the doll body, she was just infatuated, with Hugo because he was the first boy she saw, basically. And she really kind of, fell for him that way, I guess. And, for sure, she felt like, that she felt more like herself. And she did say that in the movie. She said it feels more me. So, you got a feeling that in her doll body, she didn't feel like herself. I mean, she was probably happy to be alive for sure, but being not certainly having amnesia like she had, and certainly being, in a body that was like 13 or 14 years old. That's a big difference from a young adult who's 18 or 19 years old, because we all know from experience, that we think a lot differently when we're an adult than when we're, someone that's barely into their teens, like she was in the doll body. So anybody got any thoughts about that out in the chat? So Bad Man said in the movie, yeah, maybe 18 or 19. I think the same is true in the manga as well. She seemed, and when she was in that Berserker body, even in the manga, she seemed to me like her maturity level was increasing faster than it would be if you were just a human that was growing, from 18 to 19, let's say. That's what it felt like to me when I read it. So anyone in the chat got any ideas? Before we move on to the civilian body? Okay, the civilian body. Now, this is the body that she was in after, I guess, she lost Hugo. I think this was a body. This is not to be confused with the motorball body. I mean, she was in the motorball body to play motorball, and here she's in the civilian body when she's just walking around Iron City. Now, this is sometime, the time frame here is sometime after, like or the time period is going to be after the movie. What's this? I was just thinking about when she was a cat. Cat Lita. Yeah, that's right. But that was much further in the future, wasn't it? Yes, it was, X-Man. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. She was actually in her Imaginos 2.1 body, I believe. Might have been the 2.0 body, but I think it was the 2.1 body. And of course, everyone says that, they call her Cat Lita on that one. Bad Man's right. That was about halfway through the last order. That cat, well, now, once again, that's an Imaginos body. That's my favorite version of Alita, in the cat body, or the Imaginos 2.1 body, I guess, or 2.0. So, but that is, you're right, Bad Man, that's correct. And yes, X-Man, that is in the future from here. Excuse me. In the civilian body, there's a time frame that spans from, say, when she, at the end of the movie, when she's like 18 or 19, until she gets into the last order. In the last order, she's probably in her early 30s, something like that, maybe even 34, let's say, somewhere around there. Because for one thing, in the manga, there's like a 10-year period, to where we don't know what happened with Alita. I think that was part of the Badlands arc, but I'm not sure about that, and certainly Badman would know about that as well. But in the civilian body, this is going to be a couple of years, maybe, 2 to 3 years, I guess. Been so long since I read the manga, but this is the body she was in when she fought Zapan, when Zapan was in the Berserker body. Once again, Alita did not want to be in the Berserker body in the manga, because that's the body she was in when she lost Hugo. So she really didn't care to be in that body. I guess it was just too hard for her emotionally, too much sadness, that sort of thing. But in this particular body, we didn't get any hint of her ability being musically inclined, and we don't know how much time went past on this one. But, she could play the keyboards. She could sing. I'm not sure she could play the guitar or not. I think she could play the flute as well. So, she probably learned. Yeah, it was about 2 years. That's right. That's right, Bam. That's kind of what I thought too, Bad Man. And she actually performed in the Kansas bar. This is one of the things I'm hoping for in Alita 2, is I'm hoping that Rosa gets to do, be a, do some kind of little musical bit, I don't know how musically inclined Rosa is, I mean, my gut feeling is that she can sing, because her voice, I remember seeing a video of her singing, the credit song. I can't remember the name of it. Dua Lipa sang. I can't remember that, but Swan Song. So so I know that Rosa can sing. So that's one of the things I'm hoping she does. Now, another thing she does do in this civilian body in the manga, she actually teaches martial arts. And she had some other cyborgs that she was teaching them how to defend herself. I believe she had some human students as well. Now, humans are not going to be able to fight using Panzerkunst, because their bodies aren't capable of that. But as we've said on other streams, that the techniques in martial arts are very similar from martial art to martial art. There are many of them that look pretty much the same. For instance, a front kick in the style, that I'm associated with, called Kenpo karate. A front kick is the same thing as a front kick is in Taekwondo or Shotokan, or even Savate for that matter. It's the same, it looks the same. Now, certainly in Panzerkunst, which certainly is a fictional martial art, but they have a lot of other techniques like bomb making and having their own style. And of course, one of them would have been Alita being able to generate plasma, because she had a plasma weapon in the Berserker body and in the Imaginos body. But I think Alita in the civilian body, and the same would go true in the Berserker body as well. I think she had a kind of I guess you could say she cared for other people. That's one of the reasons I guess she was training some of her students in martial arts. And, she had a small class going on there of cyborgs and humans, and just teaching them how to defend themselves. She really certainly loved Ito. Now, her and Ito did have a falling out, of course, in the manga, but they ended up, kind of, I wouldn't say reuniting, because, well, we won't get into that. We talked about that last week on Radio Chaos, but certainly she, kind of her feelings for Ito changed after she saw him again, that kind of thing. And of course, then Ito went looking for her through the last order. So that, when she went up to Zalem and up to Jeru. So anyway, but in the civilian body, this body's pretty powerful still. I mean, it's kind of like the doll body, except more mature, I guess you could say, And certainly we saw what she could do in the doll body. I mean, she literally beat the crap out of those 3 cyborgs in the alley, and she made a fool out of Zapan. Yeah, that's right. Bad Man Ito and Alita did reconcile their differences, particularly toward the end, I guess, in Last Order. I think that they, I think Ito kind of realized who Alita was at that point. But she'd be she's going to be more mature in this body than she was in the doll body. Some of the capabilities, of course, will be similar. But I think she's more of a younger woman here. I think she's probably in her mid-20s in this body, at least mentally. Now, we do know Alita's over 300 years old. So, I mean, it's kind of meaningless to say how old she is in a lot of ways. But I do think that, Alita being more mature could have more of a more established relationship with, other adults and things like that than she did in her doll body. Anybody got any thoughts about that? In the chat. You just put it in the chat and I'll talk about it. All right, well, let's move on to the doll body. Now, the doll body, even in the doll body, I think Alita's maturity level started increasing. But, when she first wakes up, certainly she's lost her memory, so she doesn't have a clue. She don't remember her name even. She didn't even know what her favorite food was or any of that kind of stuff, So that kind of contributed to the fact that how she acted in the doll body, because the doll body, remember, was built for a 13 or 14-year-old, that being Ito's real human Alita that he had built that was in a wheelchair we saw in the movie. Now, in the manga, of course, he names Alita after a cat, so, that was interesting. But anyway, but we saw that when she met Hugo, of course, she kind of went for him a little bit, I guess, there mentally, I guess, or emotionally, and I think that was pretty much like, well, the first boy she met, and she's, infatuated and stuff like that. But by the time she gets into the Kansas bar, I think she's a little more mature there, mentally anyway, than she was when she first wakes up in her doll body and meets Hugo for the first time and that kind of thing. The doll body, in terms of capability, is pretty similar to the civilian body, I think. There's no really extraordinary weapons either one of them has. But certainly here, if you remember from the movie, she kind of starts remembering who she is, even in the doll body. And when she gets into these life-threatening situations, more of her memory comes back. So she's kind of got a long-term amnesia thing going on here. But being in this doll body, and in the doll body that was built for a 14-year-old, I guess, basically, and her losing her memory, not knowing who she is, not knowing certainly anything about her past, would probably contribute to her acting more like, some kind of a rebellious, maybe somewhat impetuous teenager, and just kind of, doing what teenagers do. Now, as she even in the doll body, as she continues to kind of experience things in Iron City, and certainly after meeting Hugo and talking to Ito, and she starts, kind of not just remembering who she is when she fights people, or fights other cyborgs, but just kind of her memory gradually starts coming back. And certainly she has an instinctive remembrance of what Panzerkunst is, because without any training, she just literally beat the crap, out of those cyborgs in the alley. But here, I think she would be very immature, particularly since she didn't have any memory, and act very much like a, recently post-pubescent teenager, I think. So I think that's kind of the way what she would be like in this body, or was like in this body, particularly after she immediately woke up. Now, I think she was a little more mature when she basically went to the Kansas bar, to try to get some of the hunter warriors to help her, defend herself and Ito against, Gruishka, So I think that, Alita did kind of increase in maturity level, even in the doll body, but still a teenager, not an adult, I think. Anybody in the chat got any thoughts about that? Before we move on. Okay, well, let's talk about the human body. Now, we don't have a lot to go on here on this one. I know there's she is a human, or there is a human Alita at the end of Last Order. And that particular Alita just woke up, she's basically in the end of Last Order, she's a clone, I think is what she really is, but she's still human. And we don't know much about how her thought processes were, because she wakes up and then figure 4 is right there, So, oh, wow, X-Man, you wash dishes, huh? You doing that by hand, or do you have a dishwasher? And of course, there's another version of Alita that was human, and that was in one of those side stories that Kishiro wrote, where she was in that, I guess, tree of life or flower of life or whatever it was. And I guess Figure 4 had been looking for her, and he happens upon this place, this location where this tree, I guess, is, or something. That was kind of like, from what I remember, it was like against a wall or something. There was a membrane that he broke through, the membrane, and Alita's body came out, and she was human. So, and I don't remember much more than that. So, and there's really no, we don't have much to go on here on what she would be like, or what she was like, as a human being. Now, we've also had this discussion too. Even though Alita was a cyborg, she had a human brain. So we always maintained that Alita was very human. Even as an android, we thought she retained her humanity. Now, she kind of lost it a little bit before the Badlands arc, and then Figure 4 brought her back around, on that. She rediscovered her humanity that way. But we don't have much to go on in a human body. But I would suspect that her mental makeup, or her, I guess, her, maturity level or whatever, certainly at the end of Last Order, because that's where Alita, she would be a clone of Alita's brain at the end, during the Badlands arc, when Destiny Nova blew her up, basically with the baby bomb. And I think she was pretty mature then. She would probably be about 24, 25 years old. And, would basically be a young woman, a human, like that. So I think she would be very similar to what she was mentally, in terms of her perspective on things, as she was like in the I guess it would be the tuned body. Now, the thing about her in this body, certainly being 100% human, she's no longer a cyborg. She's no longer an android. She'll have some adapting to do, because she had been a cyborg all her life, or an android all her life, from very early on, when she was very, very young. And so being in this body, whether it was in the body from that Tree of Life story or at the end of Last Order, she would have a lot of learning to do and a lot of, kind of like mental adjustments that she'd have to make, or emotional adjustments. But I do think that she would be very mature in this body. I think she would be very loving in this body. Certainly when Figure 4 met her, she loved Figure 4, and she would retain that, I think. Let's see, what do? We built this house generations ago. There's no room, a dishwasher. Oh, okay. So you wash them the old-fashioned way. Okay, X-Man, I got it. That's cool. Okay, I was thinking Destiny Nova once had the lead to dress up like a little baby doll in the teddy bear. Okay, I don't recall that. Maybe. Okay, I'll take your word for it. But Badman, do you remember anything about this out there in the chat? Didn't Destiny Nova kind of dress up like this, or if you remember, please put that in the chat. I'll talk about it a little bit. So, any more thoughts about the human body itself? Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there are some other pictures. Now, the one on the left you see there, that's kind of AI. I assume that's kind of what she would be like, and there's several of those, I guess, renderings by AI. The one on the right's just artwork. So you can tell it's Alita on the right because she's got those little eye patches under her eyes. So anyway. Yeah, that's right. Could be, for sure. And I don't know if the one on the right is from Mars Chronicles. Badman, which image are you talking about there? But anyway, Alita in the human body, of course, she would still have all those memories of being a warrior. She'd still have that. So that would kind of contribute, I guess, to the foundational perspective she has as her self-image. She would still know technique, in terms of fighting. And in this body, even, she would probably be pretty tough, as humans go. I think she would be a pretty good fighter. I think she would still be like human karateka is now, but she would certainly be no more powerful in this body than she would be in like any other human would be. I think she would be extremely proficient in karate, or not karate, martial arts. She would still remember or still know the Panzerkunst techniques, although obviously she could not generate plasma from her body because she's human, Oh, what do we got here? The image of Alita dressed like a doll was from Mars Chronicle. Okay, I think you're right about that. The image on the right is fan art. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. So, yeah, I've got a few images on my computer about Alita on the left that are, were generated, I guess, by AI. And I don't have too many human-looking Alitas, in the fan art. Just about all of it is either androids or cyborgs, but I think I got one or two. So anyway, I put that one on the right in there. So, but Alita would be in this body would be very much like someone who is probably big on physical fitness, let's say, as humans might be. Now I'm speculating here because we don't have a lot to go on about what Alita was like as a human, or what she would be like as a human. Because we don't get much more than those at the end of Last Order, or that Tree of Life story. We don't really have anything beyond that. So I'm guessing for sure. So I could be way wrong, but it just seems to me that if she retained her memories and kind of, at this point, she would probably be in her mid to late 20s, I guess. I think she would definitely be someone who would be into physical fitness. She would still know karate. Now, in this particular body, particularly after Last Order, well, even in that story, she, she was in love with Figure 4. So I think she would be more, how would you say, more, I don't want to say maternal because she didn't have any kids, but I think she would be more adaptable to that than she would be, at least mentally, than she would have been in, say, the Imaginos body or something like this. Of course, as a cyborg or as an android, she can't really have kids. But let's say in her tuned body, had she gone back to Figure 4, they could have adopted kids. Who knows? So I think she would be more into her relationship with Figure 4 in this body. Not that she wasn't into it to begin with, because she was into her relationship with Figure 4 in the tuned body. But I think as a human, she would have, her hormones would kind of kick in, and she would be very different in terms of her relationship, I think, with Figure 4 than she would have been in a cyborg body. Anyway, my opinion. Any thoughts about Alita in the human body? Okay, well, let's look at the Imaginos 1.0 and 2.0 bodies. Now, this in these bodies, she's not a cyborg, she's not a human, she is an android. Okay, because particularly the Imaginos 1.0 body, this is what Destiny Nova put her in after he blew her up at the end of the Badlands arc. So she's and that's her in the 1.0 body on the left. The one on the right, I think, is 2.0, but I couldn't find any for sure images of her in a 2.0 body. But here she has got awesome power, and she's she's not invulnerable, but I would say that her level of toughness in this body and the power she had would be like orders of magnitude greater than even in the Berserker body, or at the very least, it would be greater than the Berserker body. The Imaginos 1.0 body, I think, would definitely be greater than the Berserker body. What's this bad man X-Man rather? She looks great in that body. Hate to say it, but I got to go. Okay, no problem there, X-Man, for sure. We'll probably wrap the stream up fairly early today since we don't have any guests. But so all you got to do is hear me rambling on about this. But yeah, I think that would drive her perspective on things, being in a body that has this much power. And I think we saw during the Last Order that we could see evidence of how her personality changed in this body versus what it was even in the tuned body, because she's got so much power, but yeah, being an android, it's, there would be a great risk of her losing touch with her humanity because she's not human. I mean, I think she retains a lot of her humanity, or a lot of the characteristics of humans in this body. She still cares for people, but I think as if she would have been in these bodies for a very long time, I think eventually she might have lost touch with her humanity. Certainly after being blown up and put back together again, her consciousness probably changed to some degree, she does remember Figure 4, in this body, like she did in Imaginos 2.1 body. But here she's kind of like she would be in the Berserker body. She's more like superhero level, kind of ability. But I don't think she'd have that archetype. But that would certainly affect how she sees things. Being in a body this powerful has certainly got to change the way you think about things. I mean, for sure. And I think we saw that through the Last Order as well. So, But anyway, I think her thought process itself, she would be really, really confident in her abilities. You know, I mean, she would be extremely, uh, I guess, her fear level on some because we've seen in other bodies that she did have fear when she fought Makaku, for instance, in the in the manga. At the beginning of that fight, she was afraid, you know, for sure. And then, of course, she turned that fear into something she could use to help fight him. But I think in these bodies, that level of fear goes down quite a bit because she has so much power, you know, that I wouldn't say it'd be misplaced confidence, but it would be a realization that you're pretty much, you know, you're pretty much the apex being, you know, of anyone around you, you know, that would be that you might have some issue or you might have some confrontation with. I believe she still well, I'm pretty sure she still loved Figure 4 in this body, still remembered him. And this, I think in this body, this is the body also that I think she might have seen Chaos again. I don't know, Bad Man, you're out there. If you could tell me, but she actually, I think in this body, she slugged Chaos a couple of times. I think maybe, but that could have been the Toon body. I don't remember. But I think she would kind of view things more like a metahuman might view things, you know. And we saw in the movie she's not that archetype for as a superhero, but I think that might be more of a temptation in this body since it's, you know, so ridiculously OP, you know, I think. Now, as OP as this body is, it is nothing compared to this body. This body here is orders of magnitude more powerful than either of the other Imaginos bodies. What do you got here, Bad Man? Fight against Makaku. That was the first time she had used a berserker body in a significant way. It took some time to learn its limits and capabilities. Yeah, that's right. You know, and Bad Man, you can maybe you can you know, kind of verify this, but I think when she started that fight with Makaku, she was afraid. And now that didn't stop her because she wanted to go rescue Koyomi and that dog. Was it Duke Fang, I think was the dog's name. So she, it was yeah, that's okay. Yeah, you're right. It was a Toon body. That's right. So when she met Chaos. So, but anyway, in the and this body right here, she's more of a goddess in this body. You know, I mean, she is like an order or two of magnitude more powerful than the other Imaginos bodies. I mean, she has access to 2 supercomputers, you know, Arthur and that supercomputer on Jupiter. I can't remember the name of it. And she also has access to the power of this wormhole, which is extremely high energy. Now, I don't think she has the antimatter microreactor heart in this body, but I don't think she needs it, you know, in this particular body here. And with that kind of power, for instance, we know in her fight, let me just backtrack a little bit. In her fight with Toji, she absolutely got, you know, obliterated. I mean, her body was, you know, torn, it was obliterated and then reassembled. I mean, you know, she couldn't even do that she couldn't reassemble herself in the Imaginos 2.0 body. Now, I think the scientist or whatever on the, you know, orbiting Jupiter helped her with that reassembly. But you just think of a creature that had the kind of power that she has. She's able to run at relativistic speeds. She has immense power. She's a shapeshifter. She's just ridiculously OP, you know. Yeah, that's right. Going back to the Makaku thing, yeah, she had some fear, but yeah, you're right. The instinct started to surface. But she, if you remember, Bad Man, she used that fear to help her beat him. You know, I think is what it was. She used it as a tool I guess, sort of. But in this particular body right here, her perspective is going to be way different than it was, say, in a berserker body, certainly in her human body, and even in the Imaginos 1.0 and 2.0 body. Her confidence level is going to be beyond just very confident. It's going to be undescribable. And being a shapeshifter, of course, she can turn herself into anything she wants. She can manifest, kind of weapons. She could, like, similar to what she's got like on the right there. Now that I believe that's fan art on the right, or if it is, it's at the very least, I think it's maybe something out of the manga, but some fan may have colored it or something. I'm not sure about that, but she manifested those Damascus blade wings right there just by thinking about it. So I mean, yeah, she's more like a goddess here with a little G. So she's she's, if you remember when she was in her tuned body, and I guess her and Figure 4 were fighting the Barjack in that one story, she was pretty much taking out all the Barjack in her tuned body, there until Yolg, I guess, kind of did them in, I guess, and betrayed them. But in this body right here, she would probably kill everyone in the Barjack within maybe a microsecond, because she's so fast, and she has so much power. Well, maybe a second, let's say, because she can move at these high speeds. She's a shapeshifter. She still knows Panzerkunst. She still has a plasma weapon, and just that she's not going to think like a human. I mean, she's still going to kind of remember some of her human past and maybe retain some of that. But with this kind of power, she's going to be more like say, Superman, let's say, or Wonder Woman. She's going to be more like that than she would be, say, like Alita in the doll body or the civilian body. Any thought about that, folks? Anybody got anything to add about either the Imaginos 2.1 body or the Imaginos 1.0 and 2.0 bodies? Yeah, the images are. I guess, did he color in those, Bad Man? I'm not sure. The one on the right, I don't remember seeing that in the manga, but of course the manga is black and white. But anyway, so she's going to be more like a goddess in this body than even beyond metahuman level, if you want to think of her as a superhero. I think she's beyond that here. She's way beyond that, So, I think we've had streams in the past where we compared her to characters like, putting her up against like Thanos, Darkseid, Steppenwolf. And in this body, she's going to take them out. I mean, they're not going to stand much of a chance again. Not to say they couldn't beat her, but, I think, if they fight 10 times, she's going to win 7, or something like that, or maybe 8 even, so. And when you get to that level of power, that's got to affect your thinking. Now, here in this particular body, and, toward the end of Last Order, she is in her mid to late 30s, I think, because there was, at the beginning of Last Order, there's a scene to where she was sitting up in Zalem looking out over the earth. And it recalled that it had been like 14 years, since Ito had found her in the scrapyard, or since she was in the scrapyard. And of course, she was probably 18 or 19 in terms of chronological, or not chronological, but kind of a realistic age, I guess you could call it. So that would have put her at the very least in her early 30s. But I think that, in this particular body right here, time went on through that, through the Last Order, I think she would be in her mid to late 30s maybe as much as 38 even, you know. Now, once again, she's more than 300 years old, and that time and the way she would look as a character would not be appreciably different in terms of age. Now, I think Kashiro did change the way she looked from the original manga, but I think you get my idea here in terms of the time frame here. I don't think her being an android, and certainly in this Imaginus 2.1 body, being more of a goddess. And we have Lottie. How's it going?
Hello. Coming in to save the day once again.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. But
is Angelus working once again?
I'm sorry?
Is Angelus working again?
I'm not sure. Now, it's pretty early for him because I kept the time the same here in the US, which meant it pulls everybody back an hour, because we're on daylight saving time. So yeah, but he might be working. I don't know. Usually he's in the chat if he's working. He's not in the chat. Oh
shit, did the stream start an hour ago?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it starts today at 9 p.m. Crap, sorry. Me and Schmendrick were both just chilling on the gaming server. Until the stream started at 10.
Well, anyway, yeah, it's
You've just been you talking to yourself the whole time.
Well, I'll tell you this too, Vladdy. The creek always messes up on the time. Every year I do this.
Yeah.
So and I think this year I might have got it right, but still, it's like folks have a difficulty adjusting to it. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I should have read your message. I just assumed, there's the link for tonight at 10.
Yeah.
I didn't open it. I was going to open it at 10.
Oh, that's okay.
A bit late for that now.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Did I miss any interesting news or discussions or anything?
I haven't seen anything interesting, myself, in terms of any news of what's happening in the leading world and all that. I do know that Robert Rodriguez has started that Brass Knuckle Films.
Very strange, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm considering, investing in it. My only problem with it, which I got to do a little more research, is it's going to be cryptocurrency.
It's all to do with like the blockchain.
And I'm not really too keen.
What is going on with that? The stuff that Disney's made him resort to because they wouldn't give him the sequels that he wanted. He deserved.
I'm not sure about that, but I would say with cryptocurrency, I'm really leery of that stuff because I've read and heard of horror stories about that, and I'm pretty protective of my money. I don't, I'm just not going to do that.
Can't wait for the articles like Rodriguez starts a crypto scam.
No, I don't think he would do it. I think Robert Rodriguez is a very honest guy, so. But we're still thinking about it. And Grüß Scott Smendrick, wie geht es dir heute?
Grüß Gott. Yeah, I finally did it.
Es ist gut von Sie zu sehen.
Yeah. Hello, Creaky. Hello, Bloody again. And we are lost in the time zone chaos.
Yeah, we were just chilling, just waiting for the stream to start. 10 o'clock.
Oh, Lord.
It started an hour before.
Well, that's all right. We can go
We could have been on ages ago. You should have seen us on the Discord and be like, what are you two doing?
Yeah, man.
I did. Well, I was on
Discord.
Well, I was on Discord, and because I remember I sent the links out, but I had to get back over here because I still wasn't quite finished preparing.
Yeah, keep the window open the entire evening so you can.
Well, that's true. I could have done that.
Sitting in the chat, you could have come in. We could have played whilst we talked.
Well, that's
we talked whilst we played.
Well, I have fun. I have fun talking about Alita, even when I'm by myself.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
Not interrupting by anyone. Yeah.
Well, I'm probably boring the shit out of Badman and X-Man 577 and Lost Link and those folks that are out there. They probably say, "Oh my god." Yeah, we got to hear Creek.
Still here, just listening to you talk the whole time.
Well, we got to hear Creek an hour in a row straight. I mean, holy crap!
Exactly. Thank God we arrived.
So anyway, but it's good having you guys on board. We'll kind of go back over a little bit, basically what I was saying about Alita and her Imaginus 2.1 body. And I think this is way past as far as you've gotten in the manga, Vladi, because this is in the last order toward the end,
Yeah.
And Smendrick, I don't know if you've read this in the manga or not. Maybe you have, but in this,
no, not really. I have some difficulties with my eyes.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. We'll get you some bionic eyes. Maybe that'll do the trick.
Man, yeah, we have to go. What did Doc Ido with the eye? He
Yeah.
removed from the skeleton.
Yeah, what did he do with it? Give it to Schmendrick.
There you go. Yeah. Well, all you got to do, Smendrick's find a time machine, go up to the 26th century, and maybe he'll put that eye in there for you.
Man, that would be great.
So anyway, what I was saying about this body was that how she is, how her personality is, what her perspective is. In this body, she is so freaking powerful that she's like a goddess. She's way beyond superhuman in this body. She's and that's certainly going to affect how she sees things and processes things mentally and emotionally. To me, I think she would retain a lot of her humanity, but I think the longer that she would stay in a body like this, either the Imaginos 1.0, 2.0, or the 2.1 body, I think the risk would be that she would start losing touch with her humanity. If she was in this body for, say, 30 years, I think she would probably, as being a human, if you want to consider that the way she thinks, I think that would be lost. Now, our girl's pretty resilient, so she might, say, no, I'm going to retain my humanity and do what it takes, whether through mental exercises or just, dealing with people in different ways or whatever. But it'd be a tough haul. It'd be a tough road to hoe here on this one, because she is so freaking powerful, that she's like superhuman here. She's beyond superhuman. She's more like, say, Superman or something like that here, so.
Yep.
Anyway.
What I would be interested in, as we talked about the eyes, what does she really see? Do we have a panel where we can see a hut or something like this, or a distance meter or something digital, or does she see the world?
Well, we don't know. I would assume, since their technology is like 500 years in the future, or in the manga, it'd be 400 years in the future. But that's pretty far in the future that they will have, because we're starting to make bionic eyes now. They've made some. I can only imagine that after 400 or 500 years, the technology will have improved so much.
Imagine she has to land on such a small platform.
Yeah.
In the second picture, in the right picture.
Yeah.
How high can she fly?
I don't know.
Seeing this small platform, I wish.
Well, I would think that her eyes are they're so advanced in this body, or even in the Imaginos 1.0 and 2.0, because you remember there's a story. It's a side story. But when she was in the Imaginos 1.0 body, she was running so fast that everything in front of her appeared blue shifted and everything behind her appeared red shifted. So you can only see that as you start approaching the speed of light, it'd have to be more than, say, 10 or 20% the speed of light. It'd have to be like 80% the speed of light at the very least. I think. Now, I at one point was a physics major in college, but I kind of left that for computer science. And, but to me, her eyes would have to be very, very advanced itself, and particularly being 400 or 500 years in the future, even if they weren't attuned to her being able to perceive things at running at those speeds, they would still be pretty, yeah, that's right, bad man. That was retcon. That's exactly right. You know, but still, Kishiro wrote it, you know, so I guess, you know, I guess it's like plot armor, I guess, I suppose. But you're right, bad man. That's right, you know. And Badman thinks that Alita wouldn't stop being human even in her Badger's 2.1 body. You know, I think that too, you know, but I think it would be difficult for her. You know, I think she would have to work on that daily, you know, similar to the way I've read stories where Superman had to work on how he perceives and deals with humans, because he is so freaking powerful that, you know, he's way beyond human, you know, I mean, in terms of what he does and stuff like that. I think the same would be the same would be true for Alita. Now, I think Alita, I agree with you, bad man. I think she would retain her human qualities, I think, you know. But anyway, she's stupid powerful here in this. I mean, she's, you know,
I thought you were just calling her stupid.
Well, I don't mean stupid like she's stupid. I mean like OP is what I mean. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Like OP, you know, that's what she is, you know. I mean, she's ridiculously powerful, you know. Bad man says Alita would beat Superman. You know, that's not beyond the you know, that's not beyond the realm of feasibility here, because, you know, I mean, you know, she's a shapeshifter. She can kind of do some really weird things. Who knows? Maybe she could construct her body of kryptonite or something, you know, and go after him, and he wouldn't stand a chance if that happened, you know. Who knows? You know, I mean, maybe we ought to do a stream on that, you know. I do think that if we've had streams on this in the past, way back, but I think if Alita was to come in contact with the Justice League or the Avengers, I think she would be more of an ally to them than she would be an enemy. You know, I think that both of those wouldn't want her as a permanent member, because she's got a lot of, I guess you would say, mental baggage, you know. You know, and they, you know, I guess they might pick up on that, I guess. But I think if they had a really serious threat, you know, existential threat of some kind, they would welcome her as an ally, you know. Yeah, bad man, she could come up with a kryptonite plasma attack. Oh my God. I mean, Superman wouldn't last against that. I mean, that, you know, in addition to being the material that he's vulnerable to, but to combine that with plasma, she would destroy him, you know. So anyway, that, you know, that's maybe a thought for another, you know, I guess for another stream. But in terms of her mental makeup here, I think I agree with Bad Man. I think she would retain her humanity, but she'd have to work at it. And her perspective on reality would be a lot different than it would be even when she was in her berserker body, you know, because of her, just the amount of power she has. You know, I mean, she's, like I say, she's ridiculously OP in this body. So we'll kind of go back over some of the bodies here in a little bit, guys. We're you know, kind of getting there. So the motorball body, of course, her mental makeup, I guess, her emotional makeup and that kind of thing would be very similar in this body in terms of the way she sees things as it would have been in, say, in the civilian body, you know, or maybe even to a degree the doll body. Now, the big difference here, of course, is that in this body, she's already lost Hugo. So she's probably going to be a little bit in a depressive state, you know, even to the point maybe she has some kind of clinical depression going on, because, I mean, she so loved Hugo so much, you know, and then losing him to that bastard Nova, you know, that's probably, you know, going to affect her in ways that, you know, that most humans probably wouldn't be able to handle. You look on the left there, she looks like she's got a little bit of a smile going on. So maybe she's still you know, maybe she can still deal with things on some level, you know, that make her kind of okay to be around. But I would think she would be in the motorball body. I think she'd be a little more aggressive than she would be normally.
Even we smile occasionally, even though we don't have our sequels.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
On very rare occasions.
But I'll tell you, the Creek is very confident we're going to get a sequel. I am extremely confident. So
yeah, in 2563. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
Damn.
like we make
it's going to be before. It'll be way before that. But we're going to leave that. I'm going to leave that right where it is. So
300 years before. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't help me neither.
But anyway, I think in this body, she would be the way she sees things in my Iron City, and you know, the way she deals, say like with Ito. You remember she had a falling out with Ito, and she wouldn't give Ito the time of day. I mean, you know, so there was one scene where Ito in the manga, you know, tells her something that, you know, anytime she wants to come back, she can, that he misses her because she was really the only family he ever really knew, or something like that in the manga. And that kind of broke her down a little bit. And she's, you know, he left, you know, and she basically cried out, Ito, you know, like that, you know. So I think she's still got some empathy. She's, you know, and all, but here she's going to be in a pretty depressive state. She's playing motorball to try to forget Hugo. She's going to be extremely aggressive, you know, I think. And, you know, I just think she's going to be somewhat different than she was. She's going to be more like she was before she met, I guess, figure 4 in her, tuned body. Because she was fairly aggressive in the toon body as well, because she still remembers Hugo and that kind of stuff, you know. So, but I think, like say, she would have supreme confidence in this body, just like she would in, say, the Berserker body or the Imaginos bodies. But in this body, since she just lost Hugo, she's, and I think Lee even said this at one point, you know, that after she lost Hugo, she was in a clinical state of depression, you know, so, you know, it just breaks your heart to think about a character we love being in that state. But, you know, I think that would be her, you know, I think that'd be the way that'd be her mental makeup and emotional makeup. What do you guys think?
In regards to the motorball body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she might be depressed because of losing Hugo, but I don't think necessarily although the motorball body may not have as much like texture sensors and all that kind of stuff that the Berserker body had. So that might make her feel more numb inside as well.
I think so, you know. Plus, our girl is really resilient, isn't she? I mean, you know, she would have moments of happiness, I think. But, you know, overall, I think she would be pretty sad, you know.
But we have to look to watch this in the sequels.
Yes,
I think
we want to see those sequels. Yeah, we do.
That was the intention.
Well, look at the intensity of her look on the right.
Yeah,
she's looking up there at Nova, man. She wants a piece of his ass. Is what she wants, because she wants to carve it out with that Damascus blade right there. So yeah, look at that, man. Ooh, boy, that'd send a shiver down you if she looked at you like that. You know, especially being who she is. You know, and I think we've said in other streams we've never really gotten into the personality that much, but you know, Alita is a really caring person. I think she would even be caring in this body. You know. But she's really caring. She cares about her friends and family. She's very protective and stuff like that. But she can go sideways on you in a heartbeat. You know, I mean, if she perceives you as a threat, say, or a threat to her family and loved ones, you're going to be dealing with some pretty severe stuff, you know, if that's the case, you know. So
Yeah, what I was wondering if she needs some of these Zen moments. Maybe while cleaning her motorball body, while keep it shining and
yeah.
polishing the chrome parts and whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I think the motorball body. Now, Bad Man, you're out there and you're going to remember this more, and you know it better than me. I think the motorball body, of course, is what she, you know, certainly right after losing Hugo and competed in motorball. But I think she gave that up for the civilian body as well, you know, because she quit motorball, I think, at one point. So, and that's when she was in the, I think that's when she was in the civilian body. So,
Okay.
that's my thought anyway, but I could be wrong about that. Or she may have switched back and
So
forth.
where can I buy the used motorball body?
Well, if you go see Doc Ito in the year 2025, 60, I would say 5, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
He might sell it to you.
Yeah, Greek, you will show me then. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Where to buy it? Yeah.
Yeah, the Dr. Ito's clinic. That's where you'd want to get it. And then you ask him to get you that eye as well. You know, put that in there.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dreaming nice.
Is he? But even
dream.
as depressed as Alita would be in the motorball body, I still think she would retain her humanity. You know, I think she would. You know, I mean, if push come to shove, even though her and Ito had a falling out and stuff like that, if push
Yeah,
come to shove, she would protect him. I think. You know, so
yeah, I hope she's keeping her humanity because I need a fair price for the body.
for the motorball body, yeah.
For the motorball body.
Well, now you're might have to put
and for the eyes.
yeah. Well, you're maybe going to have to put yourself in cryostasis until the year 2565 or.
Oh yeah, wait! I'm checking my refrigerator if there is enough place for me to.
Oh, that's right, Bad Man. You're absolutely right. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Oh,
the
damn it.
motorball body was destroyed when she fought Joshigan, because you remember Joshigan punched right through her midsection, you know, and that pretty much destroyed the motorball body. And that's
then
when
she can go back to the berserker body.
But she didn't. She didn't want the berserker body. She went to the civilian body.
Oh, that's nice too. But
Yeah, or
I love the
something
berserker body. I didn't even assume that she was never going to go back to the berserker body after that. When she was, I didn't even like. She can easily switch between bodies, right? I don't think she's quite as tied to the motorball body in the movie version as the manga version.
Yeah, I don't think so either, you know, but
Do you have a civilian body pick?
Because remember,
well,
the
that was
berserker body is also much more important to Alita than in the manga.
So anyway, there's a civilian body. Yeah, the
Ah,
berserker
this
body was
one.
sold. That's right, while she was playing motorball.
Yeah.
And
But again,
Zapan,
the berserker body didn't mean anything to her in the manga.
well, that's where it's different than the movie.
Exactly. So
right.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying she's more likely to go back to the berserker body in the movie version.
I don't know, because she still lost Hugo in the berserker. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, but
you
she
know,
didn't
I mean,
find the body for Hugo.
no, she didn't. But
She
she
found it because
lost.
it's who
She
she
was
was.
in. Well, she lost Hugo in that body and couldn't save him. So
I don't know. I don't think she'll see it that way.
I don't know. Maybe not. But we'll.
Why?
Well, because I just think the loss, the impact of the loss on her emotionally is great, you know. But Vladi, we're going to see when we get that sequel.
Yes,
if any of us are still alive.
It's important.
So anyway, yeah, but that's we went over the civilian body, and there's a lot of images of the civilian body, you know, in the manga. So we'll kind of go back and review it. the tuned body, you know, very similar, I guess, to the Berserker body in some ways and capability. She doesn't have a plasma weapon in the tuned body. But she is stupid strong here. Well, Lottie, I don't mean stupid. I mean,
You're calling her stupid again.
no, I'm not. I mean, I say
How
stupid.
dare you? Stop using them in the same sentence then.
What I mean is she is incredibly strong. Now look at her holding that. She's holding that pillar up right there, and there's figure 4 down there. Wow, the good thing that window was there. And she's looking at her and Yoel. She's looking at figure 4 and Yoel like, you idiots. Oh gosh, that's funny. So anyway, I think in the tuned body, she would be in some ways similar to what she was in the motorball body, in that she would be aggressive in this body. She did find some time for levity. I guess time heals all wounds, I guess, because when she was fighting figure 4 in the desert, you know, in the Badlands, it was like she was having fun with it. You know, I mean, it was, you know, he says, basically he says something like, well, I'm tired of you, Miss Angel of Death. You and I are going to fight right now. And she kind of looks at him with a smile on her face, says, okay. And then just kind of has a grin on her face through half the fight. Now, later on, he certainly impresses her because he keeps coming. He doesn't stop. You know, he doesn't give up. And of course, that plays right into what our girl likes. You know, she likes people that got that kind of perseverance and determination, you know, because there was at one point, she says, after she had literally stomped him in the mud almost and just beat the crap out of him, and he gets up, basically it's like he says something, we're not done, you know. And she thought, what is wrong with this guy? You know, it was kind of funny. That's one of my favorite set of panels in the manga, and I hope we see that in the manga in Alita 3, actually, you know, because she'll probably meet, in my opinion, in the sequels. Now, this is my gut feeling. I don't have anything to go on with this, but I think she'll meet figure 4 toward the end of the second movie. And then, you know, kind of go through him in the third movie, you know, kind of is what I think. But I certainly don't know that for a fact. I'm guessing. So, but she's certainly a warrior. And if you remember, she's in the tuned program. And you remember they tricked her into telling her that everybody she knew and loved was dead, you know, and that they gave her an ultimatum that you either, you know, work for us in the tuned program, or we're just gonna let you die in that yellow room, you know. You know, she finally gave in, I think. Yeah, bad man. The tuned body is faster than the motorball body, because you remember, yeah, that's right. Because if you remember what Ito told Alita in the locker room, that you know, he gave her those wheel feet. You remember, he was putting the wheel feet on her, and he says that these you know, won't betray you, or something like regular, you know, skates will, or whatever. You know, he said, but it won't make you any faster, regulation, because it was regulated. They could only go so fast, you know, in those in the motorball competition. But in the tuned body, certainly she's a lot faster than she would be in the motorball body. So so that's right, bad man. She's a warrior. She's always a warrior, but I think this is the only thing she knows at this point. You know, she's been told by, you know, the GIB or whatever it is, you know, the tuned program, the folks that are running that everybody she knows and loves is dead. You know, she has nothing to live for, you know, and she kind of, you know, kind of acts accordingly. You know, she feels like, you know, that, you know, it's almost like in the motorball body when she was competing to forget Hugo. She's actually being a warrior here, maybe to forget, but just to cope, you know, with the fact that she believes that all of her loved ones are dead, you know. So
it's just like us with the Alita sequels.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Hear that, Bob Iger?
An actual copy.
Yeah. So anyway, in the tuned body, she's an agent. You know, she's focused on being a warrior. For a lot of the tuned in the Badlands arc. Now, I will say this: Figure 4 brings her back around. She almost loses touch with humanity in her tuned body, but he kind of helps her reconnect with it. You know, and of course she falls in love with him. You know, even though they had a very contentious beginning. It's really funny. You know how he had her hanging. Had her hanging by that rope off that building, and he said, "You want to eat this, whatever this slop was he had?" And he at the last second when she was about to bite it, he eats it himself. And so what does she do? She kind of wraps her legs around his head and says, "If you don't pull me up, I'm going to kill this idiot." So it's kind of funny. So they just kind of started out like that, very much at odds with each other. And as time goes on, you know, she kind of appreciates his determination. And of course, he basically saves her from that one cyborg. He kills that cyborg. Now, I think she would have probably handled that cyborg anyway, but you know, he gets back in her life and kills that cyborg, and then of course that's the rest is history. She falls in love with him and all that good stuff, and I think lives with him for a couple of months, I think. You know, so and she's very much a young woman here. She's in her mid-20s, I think, you know, something like that. And you know, capable of an adult relationship because she had one with Figure 4. And there was one panel when I guess Den was asking her something about, she said, "Welcome, Chaos."
Hello,
Okay.
Chaos.
How's it going? But anyway, I guess Dan asked her about something about, you know, about her what she, you know, recently experienced something like that. And she said, "Well, I had a taste of a good life and all that kind of stuff, you know," and it was kind of sad, you know, but, you know, she was remembering Figure 4. Oh, there's Chaos. We got two Chaoses.
I'll leave and you can cancel it. Hang on.
Yeah, I'll get rid of the other one, I guess. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm here.
So what's happening there in Mentor, Ohio, Chaos?
I'm just trying to figure out some short episodes, short videos to make at the moment.
Ah, well, put some stuff in the private chat. I'll put it in the public chat if you
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, if you want to, you know, promote your stuff, there's no problem. So, but anyway, yeah, I do think at the first for a good while in Toon Body, she's pretty aggressive. She's focused on being a warrior. You know, she wasn't a psychopath, but you know, she was definitely she was known as the Angel of Death. She's a killer, you know, but once again, she got connected back with her humanity with Figure 4. So, you know, she came back around, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's right. So maybe saying she lived with him for 2 months. We don't know how much time went by there, but you know, you get the feel it was a couple of months. You know, you kind of get that, you know. And yeah, that's right. Her body was repaired. So yeah. Hello, Alita, the Killing Angel. I see you're out there as well.
Hello.
Yeah, you there, Chaos? Hey,
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Let's see what you got. Let me put that let me put that in the public chat. You can tell us about it a little bit before we move on.
It's about who Chaos is. Anyways, it's from a while ago.
Yeah, what
videos that connect to longer videos, like half-hour videos that I made. That will come later. And you actually get them uploaded this weekend.
Yeah, it's very difficult to understand you with that mic. It's kind of bleeding over or something. I'm not sure what it's doing. So this video, is this that video that you did here, I guess, was it this past week or whatever, this guy?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's better. Now your mic sounds better. So what is this? What do you have in this video?
It's about the character of chaos, but it's older.
Yeah.
I want to make
okay.
it newer, more on that.
Okay. So check that out, folks, out there in the chat, you know. So any other thoughts about Alita and her tuned body? Now have you gotten this far in the manga, Vladi?
No, I've only got to the end of Motor Ball.
Oh, okay. Then there's the body. Now this body, there's like two bodies, I guess. I guess you could say, and I'm not sure they're the same, but I lumped them together here. But this particular body right here is after Last Order. Okay, this is the body. The one on the right, that's an artist's conception right there. The one on the left is out of the manga, Mars Chronicles. She goes to Venus, and there's like a 2 or 3 year period in there. We don't know what happens. And she comes back, and she's not in the Imaginos body. She's in this body, you know. And I call it the body because I'm not sure what else to call it. Now, there was also another body she was in that when she was training, you know, they put her in that body, and then before she went to Earth to fight against the Earth Defense Force, you know, that was I think it was like a very similar, if not exactly like a Berserker body, but you know, it was definitely done by the United Republics of Mars. I think in this case, Alita retains a lot of her humanity. There was a couple of places there where Danko wants to shoot people, and she stops him, you know, and tells him not to do it and stuff like this. Yeah, this body is pretty powerful itself. It's got a lot of capability. It's probably similar to the Berserker body or the tuned body in terms of capability. So her thought process would probably be very similar. Now here, I think she's a little more chill in this body, you know, because she's been through a lot. She's, you know, certainly had fallen in love with Ito. I mean, not Ito. I'm sorry, Figure 4. And
quite a cute body.
I'm sorry.
Quite a cute body.
Yeah, it is. It's a
quite
nice.
Petite, it's got a little butt.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, the one on the right now is an artist conception.
Oh, that's a fan art, of course.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Now the one on the left is that was drawn by Kishiro, you know, but they're the same in terms of what they represent. You know, they both have that sentient gun on her left shoulder, or I guess one of them. Oh, it's on her right shoulder, I guess. So and his name's Danko. You know, and it's funny that she argues with Danko a lot. So, you know, it's like yeah, having a gun that you argue with, you know. What is this you got here? Say it would be considered friendly fire to shoot allies. So, yeah, Alita insisted not shooting because Danko would fly off the handle a lot of times, I think, if she wasn't there to temper him, you know. So, yeah, she's very empathetic. In this case, she wants to retrieve Erica. She wants to get her back. You know, and there's a there's a segment in the Mars Chronicles where they're fighting each other, and you know, her and Erica have really you know kind of had a hell of a battle, and then of course I guess she's a necro soldier, and then that big craft comes down and retrieves Erica, and they fly off, and of course Alita's still on the surface, and you know, Alita wants to get Erica back. She wants her to, you know, she wants to save her, I guess, you know, so she's got a lot of empathy in this body. Now she's still powerful. She's probably as powerful in this body as she would be in the tuned body, say, or the Berserker body. And as you can see on the right, she's holding flowers. That's because she was standing at a monument trying to remember those little girls, not trying to remember, but, you know, honoring those little girls early on in the Mars Chronicles, Erica and Alita run into these I guess it's like a school or orphanage, and there was like 5 or 6 little girls in there, and all of those little girls end up getting killed, and
Damn.
and she's at that monument, kind of remembering them, and brought some flowers. So you see, she's got some empathy. So I think she still has retained her humanity, and I think in this body as well, she'd be an all-around good person. Now certainly if you piss her off, she's going to be difficult to deal with. But I think she's just someone that you would want to call friend or something like that, and she would be a good friend, I think. Anyway, thoughts, you guys?
I don't know much about this body.
Yeah, I think we need some Alita sequels.
Well, now this particular thing here, if it was in a movie, it would be an Alita 6 probably.
Damn.
Which I would be okay with.
How old will you be then?
I'll probably be 115 years old, but I'll still be here.
Hope in good health.
Yeah,
Hope
that's
in
right.
good health.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, Bad Man. And you and Smendrick hit it right on the nose. Nobody knows much about this body, for sure. But I just think the way she acted, wanting Erica to save Erica, and at that monument, honoring those little girls and stuff like that. See, because this is probably Alita's probably in her very late 40s here, or 30s, not 40s, 30s. So this happened probably 30 years ago, and she still has feelings for these little girls she met, way back when she was like a toddler, So, and that's why she brought the flowers there for that, So she's, I think Alita in this body is a very genuine person, I think. Let me go back to. Let me go back to that one. Now, these are the bodies we kind of went over. I went over all the way through Imaginus 2.1 before, or into that when you guys showed up. But I guess what I talked about was, and I want to get Vladi and Smendrick and Chaos's thoughts about what Alita would be like in the Berserker body, as an example. So I'm gonna shut my mouth and let you guys talk a little bit.
I think it's similar to when you're trying to play hockey in your sneakers on the ground versus being on roller skates or ice skates. That's my analogy.
Okay. Yeah, this is right, Bad Man. Alita's empathy isn't dependent on her body. And I think that was programmed into her, her brain chip as well. So I think she's got a pretty fair amount of empathy no matter what kind of body she's in, because like I say, she has retained her humanity. I think when she was in her tuned body at the beginning, before she met Figure 4, maybe her empathy had waned a little bit because, the tuned program was manipulating her and had told her that all of her friends and family were dead. And, that would have an effect on anybody, I think. Now, I do think she still would have empathy, but it would not be as great, say, as it would be when she was, say, living with Ito, or when she was with Figure 4, that her empathy was probably restored, to some degree with Figure 4. But anyway, so Smendrick, what do you think? What do you think about how?
I think her humanity is a kind of firmware, and all the other emotions and trends and characteristics are the current operating system for each body.
Yeah.
depending on the capabilities of the bodies, yeah, the limitations, especially. Yeah, that's the only thing. And of course, I can't say it enough. We need more to see in these bodies we saw in the first movie. Yeah?
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe with flashbacks, maybe with I don't know, with additional sequences or a director's cut.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rob Roth, do you
Yeah.
hear us? Make a director's cut with her berserker body and walking through the streets of Iron City together with Hugo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. Badman brings up a good point here, and we've discussed this on other streams, that even when Alita is an android, in her Imaginos bodies or in that Erm body we saw, she's still human, because she's retained all of her human qualities, and she's decided to live as a human, as he points out here. So we all agree, Badman, even as an android, we think Alita still has retained her human qualities, and we think of her as a human. She's still our girl, so exactly. So what do you think, Chaos? What do you think Alita is like in her berserker body? What would her mental process be, do you think? Oh, that's interesting. She contains Kashiro's spirit. Yes, she does. I guess Chaos is muted. Well, let's move on, I guess, to the civilian body. Now,
You didn't ask me.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought I did. What did you think?
You already asked Chaos, maybe, and then you.
Oh, I thought
him
okay.
again.
All right, Vladi, tell us what's your feeling about how Alita is as a person, say, or how she.
It's her body. It's the body that she wanted, because it's obviously connected to her from her past and everything. And it gives her so much more power and feeling. It just would have empowered her so much, and just would. So yeah, I think it just would have given her what she wanted. Really, it's just a shame she lost Hugo with it, but I don't think it's going to be in the manga, where she just never wants to use that body again because she couldn't save Hugo with it.
It would be kind of cool in the sequel, in Alita 2, if she went back into the berserker body, and then Zapan got a hold of a different berserker body, and they fought each other. That would be kind of cool, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's right, Badman. She was questioning her, and this is very human, isn't it? Questioning her spirit or her soul. Even when she was an android, she was doing that. So that's right, Badman. Any other thoughts there, Mr. Vladi?
Well, it just opens up so much more possibilities for her. She would feel more human just because of all the extra senses she has, like when she was with Hugo testing all her texture sensors and all that. So yeah, it's just like would have given her so much more human feelings, I think.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure the doll body she could still feel with it, but nowhere near the level that she could with the berserker body.
Well, she did tell Hugo that it feels more me, didn't she?
Exactly. Yeah. It's so much more powerful. It's so much more meaningful to her than in the manga.
Yeah, that's right. Chaos, you unmuted yet, or are you what? We can move on. Vladi, what do you think about the civilian body? Did you?
No, I haven't got to say yet.
Yeah, it hadn't got that far yet.
What is it? Just I assume by the name, it's just
it's
a basic body, right?
It's kind of like the doll body, except it's going to be more mature, because she's like in her mid-20s in this body. So
and probably won't be quite proportioned as Lou's fan art on the right there.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, she's
I mean, surely the civilian bodies would be quite customizable, so there's no reason why it couldn't have like those kind of features.
yeah. Do you think maybe she would be as loving in this body, or what do you think, Bloody?
I don't really know what the kind of texture sensors it has and all that.
Yeah.
Is it as
They don't-
sensitive as the Berserker body? I doubt it.
And they don't go into that too much into the
Who
manga
makes
either.
who makes the civilian body? Sorry, is it Technology or is it?
No, I
Iron
think
City?
it's a body Ito had, I think, but I'm not
So
sure.
it's like Iron City technology, but quite advanced Iron City
Yeah,
technology.
not as advanced as ARM. That's right.
So a bit of a downgrade from the Berserker then.
I think so. Yeah. Now, one thing is she discovers her creative side a little bit in this body because she's able to play music and sing. You know, which I would, like I said earlier, I would so much love to see Rosa, you know, doing some kind of musical thing in the Kansas bar. You know, that would be really, really cool, I think, you know, because I think Rosa can sing, that's for sure, you know, and I don't know if I know when she plays, I saw her play the ukulele when she did that I Wish You a Merry Christmas thing, you know, I mean, that was kind of cool, you know. Ah, here we go. Bad Man said it was likely built by Ito or Umba. Yeah, that's right. Or maybe both of them combined. We don't know a lot about this body really, except, you know, she was in this body when she performed in the Kansas bar. She had a martial arts class that she was teaching, you know, in this body. So I mean, you know, she's, you know, kind of being like just a single girl, you know, just doing her thing, you know. So what do you think, Smendrick?
Yeah, I think the same. In the movie, she told to Hugo it feels more her, and I would say it feels more our queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels more like Rosa, I think. Yeah, and we need this plushie. I have always forget the name of this little
Kimchi.
kimchi, man.
Or Kimchi.
Kimchi, yeah.
Kimchi, yeah. We need to see this in the sequels too.
Well, he's kind of he's a device that monitors her, I guess. I guess Zalem keeps trying to
He's
keep
controlled, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So he's maybe look cute, but he's Zalem's
Yeah,
way to
this would be
monitor.
a great stuff for Robert Rodriguez to tell us
I
about.
think Chaos, she ends up squashing him, doesn't she? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway, maybe Bad Man knows. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah.
What about you, Chaos? What do you think about Alita in the civilian body? What kind of personality she's going to have?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's going to be more like your typical single girl. You know, she goes to the Kansas bar to play for credits, I guess. You know, maybe maybe has her martial arts class or classes or whatever she's doing. You know, for credits there, teaching people how to defend themselves. You know, which I think is cool. You know, so. And of course, we know this body. Oh, Bad Man. The question was what, of course, for each body, what do we think she'd be like? You know, like I think she'd be more like your typical single girl in this body. You know, she's got a couple of little odd jobs she does. It probably still helps Ito, you know, in the clinic, you know, or something like that, and makes a few extra credits here and there, you know, for, you know, performing at the Kansas bar and you know, teaching her martial arts class. So,
yeah.
Now in this body, I think, now I said this before, she starts out in this body very immature because she certainly doesn't have any memory. She's suffering from amnesia. And in this body, she kind of just assumes the persona of a 13-year-old or something like that. But as time goes on, even in this body, she seems to mature a little bit. Even going into the Kansas bar, a 13-year-old wouldn't think about going into the Kansas bar with the purpose of trying to convince hunter warriors to help, her and Ito protect themselves against Gruishka, Yeah, Alita is a bit more relaxed in her civilian body, but she's still capable of kicking butt. Yes, she is. And we still know that because she teaches that martial arts class. So, she's quite capable of kicking some butt, in that body. And we know in this body, she's capable of kicking butt too, because she beat the crap out of those 3 androids in the alley. So, even in this body, and this is probably her, outside of her human body, this is probably her least powerful body, So I think she's immature. She's infatuated with Hugo in this body for sure. I think she loves him, but it's more of a, the first boy I met and stuff like that, and kind of loves him like that. More infatuated. Now she, like I say, she does mature even in this body, and of course when she gets a berserker body, she's a young adult. So that's. So what's your thoughts there, Vladi?
Well, it's a beautiful body in terms of the design and everything. It was made for Ito's daughter, made out of love, and gave Alita her second chance at life.
Mm-hmm.
What more can you say, really? She tested it to its limits.
Yep.
Plunged her final limb into the eye of evil.
Yes.
Saved once again by Ito.
Well, she even had the sense of protecting loved ones in this body, didn't she?
Well, that's not about. It's not about the body. It's about the person.
It's about her. That's right. But what I'm saying is, remember when she first got in this body, and she had amnesia, she kind of acted like a 13-year-old a little bit. But yeah, you're right. Once she kind of started figuring things out and all, matured real quickly, in this body, I think. What do you think, Smendrick?
The only thing I have to admit here is Queen Studio should give us a 4th scale statue. And the arms and all the things. We have to keep
They said
this.
it might be coming in March, like this month, but I don't know. That's probably not going to happen.
We'll see.
We have to keep this wonderful art.
Yes.
This wonderful patterns and ornaments and whatever. We have to keep this in a statue. Below the price of the life-size statue.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Well, we definitely won't see this body anymore, but I think Vladi is right. This one here is really,
they should do some more merge in this way.
Yeah, they should. Yep. What do you think, Chaos?
It's the starter.
Yep.
Not the end.
Yep, that's right. Now we don't know, as I said when I was doing this a while ago, we don't know anything hardly about this body because there is really not a whole lot in the manga at all, either in that little side story or at the end of the last order. We just don't know, I think she would be extremely sweet in this body. I think just like she would have been in the doll body or the berserker body. But Vladi, what's your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? I don't know. Get rid of that smut from my screen.
That's not smut, Vladi.
Sorry, I'm punishing myself
Oh, okay.
for bad thoughts.
Well,
And
she
it's your
looks.
fault.
Well, she looks a little sexy in that, but that's not smut. Holy
I
moly!
know. It's very beautiful.
I don't know. It used to look like a talking doll. Not now. Not so much.
Well, the one on the left is AI, so that's probably why that is. But and of course, the one on the right is fan art. So
I'm just
I
saying,
couldn't give an bra.
the whole series, she looks like a talking doll.
yes,
But yeah, I don't see why she couldn't have a human body. She gets one eventually, doesn't she, in the movie? I mean, in the manga.
at the end. Well,
Not major spoilers, but I just know that. So let's not get too much into it.
Yeah, she does. There is a human Alita at the end of the last story.
Yeah.
So
I mean, does that make her more human just because she has a human body?
I don't think so.
Probably
I don't think so. I think she retains her humanity no matter what body she's in. Now, I think she'll have different challenges to that, depending on the body. But I think she's so resilient and so she has so much perseverance, and I think I think she may, even though she might have challenges trying to retain her humanity, she still does it. So anyway, that's my thought. What do you think there, Smendrick?
What I told Vladi in the gaming stream this evening, if Disney is too slow to provide us with sequels, then it could happen that we will see short clips exactly in this kind of body of Alita.
Yeah.
Fan-made short clips.
Yeah.
Because AI video engines are developed so fast. And they have been improved in the last few months. It is incredible. At the beginning, they don't have stable faces, stable background, stable whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, hair is turning, eyes are moving strange, and whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
And in the latest version, we see not only related to Alita, but to other characters. What fans developed, created with this AI engines, with these versions of AI, it's incredible. And so I think we have more clips before the next sequel and of this showing us this type of body of Alita-like. It's maybe not really an Alita face or Alita behavior or style. But I think don't know how to explain it in English, but I think let's say half a year, and we have a really good first AI clip with Alita.
Yeah, she's
moving around and whatever.
Well, there's toward the end of the stream here, I'm going to be, not promoting, but promoting. I will be promoting, I guess. Somebody that's doing that right now, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. I saw some very short clips.
Yes. Yeah.
We saw it in the past.
Yeah.
In the near past, but it wasn't too stable.
Yeah. Well, AI when it came out a couple of years ago was just like you said, it was pretty rough.
And let's say half a year, and we have the first really really interesting, let's say interesting clips of Alita. Huh?
Mhm.
Or
What do you-
Alita-like characters.
Mhm. So, what do you think, Chaos? I think you've read the manga. What do you think about human Alita? What would she be like?
I don't know. Probably it takes some getting used to the fact you're not a machine anymore, not plastic and metal.
Yeah, that like as I mentioned a while ago, it'd take a period of adjustment on her part because she's so used to, having system sensors or texture sensors and stuff like that. Hey, now I got flesh and blood sensors, and then of course
I was thinking more of not being as durable anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
More easily injured.
Yeah, and coming to terms with that, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, it's a human body, but is it like fully organic inside or what?
Yes, fully organic.
Interesting.
Yeah. She's 100% human.
Yeah, this would be my next question. What's the difference between the human body shown here? Yeah, we can't look inside, and the android's body. An android, you cannot see differences between humans and androids from the outside, or from the distance. But only if you look inside, they are more resistance, more strength, more whatever. Yeah, they don't age that fast as humans. Yeah.
Well, no, as human, she would age faster than she would than if she was a cyborg or an android.
Yeah, this is my question related to.
Oh, okay.
Is it an advantage to have what we know today, as human body?
Good question. Well, whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage, she would have to come to grips with it because, all of us here on the panel, we could say, well, we think it'd be like this to be a cyborg. We think it'd be like this to be an android. We could compute things faster in our brains as an android, or, we'd have more capabilities as a cyborg. But in this body, we know how it is. So, but we would know only the human side. Alita would know. And once she got to this body, she would know all three sides. So, she would know what it would like to be a cyborg, an android, or a human. So, or I'd say, let me rephrase that because I kind of agree with Badman. I think she's a human no matter what, but I think she would know in a real way what it's like to be in a human body, an android body, or a cyborg body. So that's what I think anyway. And that would take some adjustment on her part.
Okay.
Okay, what about the Imaginos 1 and 2 bodies? They're pretty similar. One's more powerful than the other, but the way she, at least the way I saw in the manga, she reacts or acts pretty much the same way, but she is an android here. What do you think, Vladi?
I don't know much about it except that it's super powerful.
Yeah.
I don't like the thought of her being an android.
Yeah. That picture on the left is cute, isn't it? Yeah, the image on the left is pretty cute. So what do you think, Smendrick?
Yeah, I think almost every picture of Alita is cute, but
yeah.
I never told you this before,
Uh-oh.
but we need to see the Alita sequels. Yeah?
Yeah, I've never heard you say that.
No. Yeah. Maybe we should address this to Mr. Robert Rodriguez. Are you listening? Are you watching this?
He's probably not
Hello,
watching this stream.
man. Give us Imaginos 1.0 and 2.0 buddies in the sequels. Come
Well, I
on.
think when we get the Alita sequel, I think it's going to be a collaboration between him and James Cameron. You know, I think Robert Rodriguez is still going to direct it, but I think Cameron's going to have more of an active hand in it. You know, he's not going to micromanage it or anything, I'm so sure, but he's going to be more intimately involved. I think that'd be my guess. You know, and once again, I have no inside information on that one. So, well, Chaos, you've read this far. What's your take on how Alita behaves in this body? In these two bodies?
I would say initially very arrogant.
Yes.
Because it's just you're there's no one who can challenge you, but then eventually you'll have people like, whether it's Embody the first time, that are quite a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Or Cerula, either way. Yeah.
Yeah, she does pick up a level of arrogance in this body, or in these two bodies, that she doesn't have in the other bodies. And it's kind of like, I guess it's just like you were saying, it's because these two bodies are pretty powerful, you know, and so she just doesn't feel like anybody's capable of messing with her or challenging her or something, you know. So, and certainly, oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something, Chaos?
Oh no, I'm okay. Go on.
Now, this body, as I said, you know, a while ago, is going to be, now just from looking at it from a power perspective, is orders of magnitude more powerful than any body she's had. But I didn't get the sense that she was as arrogant in this body as she was in the 2.0 body, but maybe she was. I just think she's, I think her thought process transcends that, because she knows in this body, it's not more, see, like, I think her arrogance was based on an idea that she's more powerful than anybody around her. In this body, she knows she's more powerful than anybody around her, and the arrogance just kind of flies away because she doesn't need it. Because I mean, to me, arrogance is like, it's kind of like, you know, something you're trying to either prove to yourself, or you got this hubris or whatever it is. This body, she doesn't need those kind of thoughts, because she is, and she knows she is more powerful than anybody. And I think that kind of, to me, mitigates some of that, you know, arrogance that she would have. But anyway, Vladi and Smendrick, I don't think have read this, but do y'all kind of feel like that's a reasonable statement, or what?
Vladi is right back now. What I have a question. It's maybe just a question of language. You talked about arrogance.
Mm.
I think it's just posing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Arrogance is a character property.
Mm-hmm.
But posing, as she did in the movie, yeah, showing her berserker body to Hugo.
Huh? Yeah, well, even showing off.
Nothing to do with arrogance.
Yeah, that's right.
With posing, with being proud, yeah, looking like this. And that's a difference. And I think, or what do you think? Maybe you disagree.
No.
Is it really arrogance with the Imaginos bodies, or is it, or let's precise it. Do you think Kishiro wants to show us that she can be arrogant, or is it more, posing?
I
Just
think.
posing.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I do think that Kishiro did want to show us kind of a state she would be in, you know, her journey, and part of that would be getting these new bodies and being arrogant in them because she believes, or at least she thinks, that she is more powerful than anybody around her. I do think there is some posing with that, but I agree with you. Like, for instance, when she was going through all those handstands and everything in front of Ito, that she wasn't really being arrogant right there. She was just kind of proud of her new body because this is her, you know. But I do think in the Imaginos 1 and 2 body, I think she was arrogant because I think she, you know, she thought she was more powerful than anybody around her. And I think she, you know, she's almost like, I'm going to show you I am, or something to that effect. And that may be the wrong words. I think in this body right here, she doesn't need to do that because she knows in this body that no one is anywhere near what she is. So she's more like what I said a while ago. She's more like a goddess in this body than she would be in the Imaginos 1 or 2, 1.0 or 2.0 body. That's kind of what I think, you know.
Vladdy is back.
Hello.
Yeah, Vladdy, what do you
Isn't
have?
this the one we started on?
Well, no, this is one you guys,
Circle.
this is where y'all came in.
That's what I mean. Yeah, we started
Yeah.
there when we joined. An
Yeah.
hour late.
Yeah, that's all right. Chaos, what do you think? Do you now you've read this far? Is she arrogant? Do you think she's arrogant in this body as well?
At the beginning, I mean, she gets really overconfident until she loses a fight.
Yeah. But now in this body, when she, and I don't remember, but I think she first meets, when she meets Aga in body, she's in the Imaginos 2.0 body, isn't she? I think is
Well,
what.
there's the first time she meets him,
Yeah.
and he won that one. That was
Yeah.
the regular Imaginos body. She needs to get another one.
Yeah, that's right. But I think when she meets him in this body, he's no, you know, he's
right.
He's not a threat to her in this body.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just my belief that when she gets in this body, she's so powerful in this body, and she knows that she's orders of magnitude more powerful than any other body. I think that arrogance just dissipates because she just doesn't have those thoughts anymore, you know. Anyway, that's just my thought. You know, I could be wrong, you know, no doubt about it. The motorball body, I guess we talked about all this, so we don't need to hit this again because you guys are all here. But I think she's in a state of clinical depression in this body to some degree. I think in this body, she's competing in the motorball because she's trying to forget Hugo, is what it is. And I think she's going to be more aggressive in this body than she would be, say, like in the Berserker body. That's just my opinion. You know, do y'all think that way, or what do you think? Now, Vladdy, you did get this far in the manga, so what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know about clinical depression, but she was very sad, obviously. What are you asking? We've already gone over this body.
Yeah, we have.
Looping around them all over and over.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure everybody gets their words in, you know. So, yeah. All right, well, that's good. What about you, Smendrick? Did you any other additional thoughts?
Only my only thing I have to add is what I also did talked to you before. Her humanity is a kind of what we call firmware. Yeah,
Yeah.
You cannot erase it that easy.
Yeah.
But you can remove the body, or she can remove her body, or change it.
And she's still.
And then she has, depending on the capabilities and the limitations,
Yeah.
she has the seems to have other priorities in her character.
Well, I think her mental state is not. I mean, it may be
Mental
some.
states.
Yeah, it's
included.
not. Yeah, it's not so much that her mental state drastically changes from body to body. There may be a little adjustments because of the situation she's in these bodies. You know, that's, I think, is more like it, you know.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I don't think she ever loses her humanity completely. So
that's it. That's my
what do
only
you,
addition.
well, Chaos, do you have anything to add about this body? We'll kind of get through it quickly, I guess. Up, he's muted. Okay. All right. Well, the Toon body, I think we talked about a little bit. I think she is going to be, initially, she was equally as aggressive in this body as she was in the Motorball body. She's been lied to and manipulated by Zalem in the Tooned program to think that, believing that she's, all her loved ones and friends and family are all dead. And she probably feels like nothing to live for. And then she meets Figure 4 and, you know, kind of gets, you know, kind of her, I guess her connection with humanity strengthens, I guess is the best way to put it. Not like she ever lost complete touch. She was never lost the connection completely, but I think it was reinforced. So would you guys all three kind of agree with that?
Yeah, I don't really know much about this body, sorry.
Yeah.
As I told before to Mr. Robert Rodriguez, who is listening in the background,
Not really.
would you like to give us those damn sequels with the Toon body, man?
Well, we need to say that. We need to say that more to Bob Iger than we do Robert Rodriguez or James Cameron or Rosa, for that matter.
Sure. I'm not that sure.
Maybe not.
He could do some pressure on Iger.
Yeah.
And of course, James Cameron.
They need to big up the merger causing damage to the release more.
That's what really happened to it. Because,
like, why don't they talk about that? Like,
because they don't.
If Rodriguez said that properly in like an interview where he made a big deal about it, then they'd probably write articles about it. And then that will put pressure on them to make up for that.
Well, it might piss them off too.
Well, if they're not getting the sequels, then they should do that anyway.
Well, they should, but they
should piss them off.
Well, yeah, but if you piss them off, they may, people can.
This is the thing, they've got us under the barrel of the gun. Like, they've got our girl hostage, so we can't say anything. But they'll probably just never do anything. Then we're forever kept as.
Well, that's a good point.
We've forever got her as hostage.
That's a good point, because if you don't say anything, nothing happens, right? That's a good point.
Exactly. That's why they should just talk about it and try and put the pressure on more.
Chaos, any last thoughts about the Toon body? I think he is muted. And last but not least, this body, I think she's very mature in this body. She's in her
mid. Getting deja vu.
Yeah, deja vu all over again. Yes.
We're just here on an endless loop until morning.
No, we'll go back over the Berserker body if you want. No, we're not.
As long as Give Alita her sequels is in an endless loop too. I don't care about endless loops.
Well, I'll just say one thing, and then we'll move on from that. But I guess in this body, she's very mature. She's in her mid to late 30s. And she's retained all of her human qualities. She has a lot of empathy still. She loves Erica, despite the fact that Erica wants to kill her. And she made the sacrifice of letting human Alita be with figure 4 instead of her and stuff like that. So that's all I'll have to say about that. So do y'all agree with that? And then we'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's pretty much it. So I would say that Alita's personality doesn't make dramatic changes. You could probably make the case in the Toon body that maybe there's a little bit of a somewhat dramatic change because of her being manipulated by Zalem, but she does come around. So I think in all these bodies, though, I think she's still human. I think she's still basically the same person, you know, and she retains her empathy, and she's probably if she was a real character, she would probably be a delight to be around. But you want to make sure, you know, that you're not on her bad side for any reason, because that could be pretty dangerous for you. But I don't think she would just summarily off you, you know, or kill you, you know. But you know, you would have to recognize that, you know, she is a pretty powerful being, and that you would even in her doll body, or even in her human body for that matter. I mean, she's probably as good as, say, some of the best karate fighters in the world, or say MMA or whatever, you know, even as a human, you know. So anyway, that's that. Any final thoughts about her personality at all? Anybody, you guys?
No, just obviously changes when she got basically more features with the Berserker body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think we need a new body for her. Totally new body.
Well,
Kishiro should draw us in a body that shows us what would happen
how about an Imaginos?
if we don't get those damn sequels.
How about an Imaginos 3.0 body?
Oh,
no.
that would be sad for Bob Iger and all these other guys. Huh? We need those.
Do any of Alita's bodies age? Well, certainly.
Well, the Berserker body consumes matter to maintain itself.
Yeah. I would say
And
that
Berserker cells presumably also, you know, in a way they die or get shed, but
Yeah.
the eating part is the problem for the Berserker body.
Yeah. Well, certainly her human body would age, but the other bodies, to the
I mean, it's
degree-
mechanical moving parts, so it would have the issues presumably that mechanical moving parts would have.
Absolutely. As I was saying, that's what I think it would happen, is that she would have to worry about the natural progression toward obsolescence, you know, for her bodies certainly would come into play. Now, how long would that be? You know, who knows? Could be 1,000 years. You know, you just don't know, you know, particularly in those nanite bodies where they keep regenerating, you know, they keep a body maintained. No telling how long those things would last, you know, maybe 10,000 years, you know, who knows? You know, the bodies that don't have nanites in them, say like the Toon body or the doll body or the civilian body.
I think it depends on maintenance.
Yes.
If you're active and not using and not maintaining a machine's parts and fuel and like lubricants and stuff, it ages more rapidly.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of like your car, you know. I mean,
yeah, like a car.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, Alita the Killing Angel, her bodies, I guess you could say they do age, you know. Even the Imaginos 2.1 body would probably age, but it would, I would say that it would be even more, or even would exceed even what you would consider biological immortality, you know. I mean, it would be extremely long-lived, I think. So anyway, that's just my thought. So, all right, guys, any last thoughts before I put this in? I thought Angelus was going to be on because I put this in here. Yes, Alita has Uwu. So, you know, that's certainly a plus, you know, and our girl has Uwu for sure. So, Our queen has ooh as well. So, you know, that's perfect. All right. Well, if I guess no last thoughts, because we went over everything twice, didn't we, Vladi? So, I guess coming up on the channel, I guess I've got another promotion video coming out tomorrow, similar to that one I did a while back, except it's it's not time dependent like the first one. So anyway, it's but it's similar in that her and you know, Alita and Ito are walking through Iron City, and Alita looks up at the big screen and says, "What is that?" You know, and of course it says Netflix on it and stuff like that, you know. So that, you know, I'm trying to promote the movie on Netflix there. And then I got another one coming out on I guess Monday or Tuesday if you're in the future, like Angelus is, or Maxie. And of course this is where Hugo dies, but Alita tries to save him, and it's set to that music Promontory by Taylor Davis. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's a violin piece that she plays for the movie The Last of the Mohicans. So it's to me, it's pretty emotional for me. I watch it, you know, and it still tugs my heartstrings a little bit. You know, of course, that's that scene where she loses Hugo, and of course that certainly bothers us, you know, a lot. And then the next one's a little more uplifting, Alita on a Magic Carpet Ride. That's an old rock and roll tune by Steppenwolf, you know, and that was back in the 60s, I guess. So that's coming out on Wednesday or Thursday if you're in the future. And then, of course, next Friday or Saturday, if you're in the future, we're going to have another Alita live stream. And no, I do not have a topic. Rarely have a topic this far in advance.
You could try using the presentations I sent to you. That's an idea.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. Yeah.
And I'll take a look at my videos. Like, you can take a look, watch them if they don't have copyright issues. Some of them do not. Some of them do. So I'll check and let you know.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, just shoot me a DM, Chaos. I'd appreciate that. You know, I usually don't have a big problem coming up with topics because this is a character and an IP I like talking about. So I don't really struggle with that much. Now, that said, you know, I've had days where I've got to the very morning of the stream where I finally come up with a topic. So, you know, if anybody out there in the chat has a topic they would like to see us talk about, certainly let me know, you know, in the DMs, or say Facebook if you're following me, or Instagram or Reddit or something like that. And certainly the same is true of Radio Chaos too. If you got a topic you want to see us cover on Radio Chaos, you can let either me, Angelus, or Maxie know, and we'll add that to the the sign up sheet. So that's what's coming up next in the channel. Now, the channel of the week this week, and we talked about this. Smendrick brought it up a while ago. There's a channel out there called Matrix Dagger, and he puts together. Now, these are all AI videos, so if Channel was here, she'd probably be giving me an earful. But he really does a great job on this, and you can see those images right there. They very much look like Alita, you know. I mean, and they're all music videos that he does, but they're very well done. And, you know, he puts a lot of time and effort into this. And he also has another channel that maybe one day we'll kind of feature that one, called Muse AI. And he does some, production work on that as well. So check him out. And his handle is Zendark Dagger, I think, something like that. Yeah, Zendark Dagger. So on YouTube, there's the you see the link up there just below the title, and he does really good videos. I like his videos quite a bit. So, did we miss anything, guys?
No.
Vladi would say no, we didn't, because we went over everything twice, right, Vladi?
Well, yeah, we kept going around in a loop.
But it's a character we love, Vladi. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, moving on, I guess. There's our queen, and of course, you know, I like giving her shout outs at the end of every stream. She is great. I mean, she is a superb actress, you know, and I can't say enough about how magnificent she was in that play Cyrano de Bergerac. I mean, holy crap! I mean, memorizing all those lines and delivering them naturally. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's like I mean, it's just unbelievable. You know, I mean, to me, I was blown away both times I went to see her, you know. And of course, our queen is great. She's special to us, and we're pulling for her and her career and all that good stuff, you know. We also want to give shout outs to Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher. They're superb at their job as well. You know what they do. I did hear from Elle here about a week ago. And she said, "What makes you happy?" You know, in a post she did, and I said, "Well, you know, what makes me happy is fighting for the Alita sequels, in which I want to see you in as Screwhead again, teaming up with Alita against Josh again." You know, and she responded. She said, "Yeah, that is something I could truly get on board, being team up with Alita." You know, so she still wants to do it for sure. You know, and of course, Jesse's a superb stunt person. You know, she's a stunt woman. And if you remember from that interview we did about 2 or 3 years ago, I guess it was 2 years ago, maybe, Elle said that Jessie was the most badass stunt woman she ever worked with. So that is really high praise right there, boys. So all three of these ladies are just superior at what they do. You know, we are so lucky to have them. We are really lucky to have Rosa as our queen and that portray Alita, you know, and she'll be in the sequels for sure, you know. So we're happy about that. You know, we're really lucky to have her as our queen as well, and she's proud of that too, by the way. Tomorrow on Radio Chaos, what we're going to be talking about is what do you do to kind of keep your fire burning in your heart for Alita, you know. And this is kind of a continuation of what we did. When was this? A couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, whatever. So anyway, and of course, this is our call to action right there. And of course, Smendrick keeps reminding us that we need those sequels, don't we, Smendrick? So
yeah, but we have to talk about this in another stream. We
absolutely.
hadn't enough time today.
No, we don't.
Yeah, to talk about this.
Yeah. And
Mr.
anyway,
Robert Rodriguez,
well,
yes, on you.
Yeah, no, not just him. It's going to be also James Cameron. You know, I mean, he's
let the old man.
Oh, Rodriguez is
not Rodriguez, you know.
But anyway, join us tomorrow for this. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about it, and you know, it's at 9 p.m. GMT. So you know, go to the I guess the guest sign up sheet and click on that time converter to figure out what and don't depend on what the Creek says, because he always messes up the time zone thing every year. So, but we're going to have a lot of fun on this, and I don't know who's going to be the host.
The time had changed for the daylight savings or not?
I'm not sure what Maxie's done. I'll have to go back and look at the X. He sent out a post. Let me look at that. I think let me see what he's got here. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Looks like it's well, let me share my screen so that way you guys can see it. Okay, well, you can see it's 9 p.m. GMT, so
it's not changed yet.
No changes.
So it's the same, I guess.
Well,
yeah, it can't be.
Well, no, here in the US it's a change because it was 2 p.m.
Yeah, but then everything other is okay.
Well, you know how we are here in the US. We got our heads up our rear ends a lot of time, and we don't change stuff. Oh well, that is what it is. So anyway, yeah, join us tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you know, and that'll be kind of a cool thing, I think. And I want to remind everybody that, we got the Stammtisch after this. And there's the link. I'm not sure that link is down in the description or not, but what I will do is I will put that in the chat and you can click on it. And after the stream, when we start playing the outro, you can join and you'll pop up and we'll talk about Alita a little bit more. And on this one, you don't have to worry about, hey, I'm going to be in front of a. Well, we don't have a whole bunch of people on this stream tonight, but of course, a lot of people do look at the stream after the stream is over, because I think probably 3/4 of my audience is international. So, a lot of them are asleep, so they're not going to be on the stream here. But don't worry about that, because you will not be live. You'll just be here with us, and it'll just be just us. There won't be any streaming, and it'll, we'll have fun talking about it. And this is something we've recently started doing, and we're going to start doing it too, Smendrick, after Radio Chaos as well. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I talked Maxie into it last week. So,
Yeah, maybe we have some different members then sitting around the table.
You betcha. So anyway, just join us for the Stammtisch, which means regulars table. So there you have it. Or if they say down south, the liars table. So that's how it is. All right. Well, anyway, we are the Alita Army, of course, and we certainly, we all of us support Alita and Rosa Salazar passionately and positively. We are the most positive fandom on the internet. We try to stay away from toxic stuff, and we just want to have fun talking about a character and an IP we really love. We certainly do campaigns. If you remember, we did the Hero Arm thing for Maria. That was a really neat thing that we did there, and we've done it for a couple of others too, and of course this last bullet is directed right at Bob Iger. We are the
Well, be careful with those metaphors, man.
And we're here to stay. We want those sequels, Bob Iger. You got to give them to us, man. You got to green light that sequel. So now that said, I am supremely confident we're going to get one. So, all right. Why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it and I'm running the stream. And to paraphrase Gruwishka, I am only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl and everybody else in the Alita Army. And that just leaves us with one last thing to do, and that would be a call to action on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film
sequel, baby.
Boy, am I glad El Lamont was here. She'd make us do it again. So anyway, we'll see you next week on the Alita live stream, and we'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos, everybody. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.